pitch my idea for Avengers Doomsday based off of what we know. Because obviously there's still news, I guess, coming out, and they're going to have some more announcements here soon. But I figured, based off of what's just been announced, I'm going to go ahead and give you all my pitch. And I'm going to try and tie this all together. I'm going to try and make this work. I wrote this actually down in a group forum on Facebook, and like I kind of was just jotting down ideas. And then as I was reading it, I'm like, this is actually kind of hot. Let me see if I can piece this all together based off of what we know. Okay, so my theory, and I'm gonna go a little slow here because I want some people to pop in here. We'll see if people pop in here, and I'm gonna roll up too. I'm not sure that's allowed, but they don't know. They can't see it, but we roll it up. Yeah, so obviously they just announced all these characters, including the X-Men. And what I think is interesting about who they announced in the X-Men, I think is actually like probably the biggest clue as to how this story is going to play out. And obviously they're not done announcing people, so there might be some more X-Men here. But basically, they kind of announced X-Men that we've already seen for the most part. So they announced like Beast, and they announced Professor X, a couple other people. And what's interesting about them casting Beast is the fact that, and I haven't seen the movie, but I actually had to read the plot of the Marvels real quick to make sure that this was accurate before I dove into this theory. With the Marvels, the after credit scene, essentially Monica Rambeau, to save the day. Basically, basically there's a fight scene at the end. Kamala's band, which is crucial in this conversation, and another band. The villain gets a hold of them. Things happen. A portal opens up. The dimensional rip happens. Monica goes into the portal and closes it from the opposite side. Turns out that the portal that she opened is a version of the X-Men universe. I say a version, and I will get to that in a second. So she lands in a version of the X-Men universe, and in this universe, it's revealed that we have, I guess Photon, and then we also have a version of Beast. And this is part of the reason why I say this is a version of the X-Men universe, because as far as we know, we've never seen Photon in any X-Men version. So this is a new universe that has Photon in it. So we know, based off of that knowledge set, that the same bands that we see that are attached to the rings, like the celestial objects that we see in Shang-Chi, which is the end credit scene where it's revealed that these celestial objects are celestial objects. We see that at the end of Shang-Chi. So the same objects that we see in the Marvels are the same objects that are used in Shang-Chi, that are also, which no one really talks about, are also in She-Hulk. Yes, these objects are also in She-Hulk because I think it's the Wrecking Crew in She-Hulk somehow get a hold of celestial objects. They steal them from somebody and they use these celestial objects in a fight scene with She-Hulk. So these celestial objects are like things that are floating around in the MCU. They're basically like the new Infinity Stones, essentially. And we've seen them in Shang-Chi, Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, the Marvels. I haven't seen the Eternals. I'm not sure if the celestial objects are in Eternals. If they are, let me know. I haven't seen it. I have to go read the plot. But these celestial objects are basically kind of the low key, the Infinity Stones. And what these celestial objects are capable of, which is what we've seen in the Marvels, is that they can open up portals to new dimensions. Now, with that established, we're kind of starting to kind of see how this plot's going to work out a little bit. I would not be surprised if we saw or if we see some form of celestial like object that Reed Richard uses to travel to a new dimension. Perhaps he gets to the dimension that they're in the Fantastic Four movie. They could have gotten there the same way that Monica Rambeau got to her dimension, via a celestial object that opened a portal, the Fantastic Four get sucked into this object, and then all of a sudden they're trapped in this new dimension, just like Monica Rambeau. So we're already kind of seeing this pattern develop in terms of how these celestial objects are going to play a role, which is interesting that they did say that Shang-Chi is going to be in this movie, because I think Shang-Chi is actually one of the most important factors of this, because he has the 10 rings. The 10 rings are one of the celestial objects. These celestial objects, if used in a certain way, can apparently open portals. So, like I said, basically they're kind of redoing the Infinity Stones in a way. Like before, like you have the Infinity Stones and all these different entities had them, but now what I think they're doing is that they're basically replacing the Infinity Stones with celestial objects. So now we can use celestial objects. These celestial objects can now open up portals to different dimensions. We've seen this in the Marvels so far. It's hinted at in other movies. So now let's get to Doom. Now, how does Doom play a role in all this? So my theory, in terms of how Doomsday is going to play out, it's already going to be established that Doom's evil. We're not going to get any type of origin story on Doom, which I think is good. He's already going to be evil. I think he may already be multiversing. Now, will we see him in Fantastic Four? My guess is no, we will not. I think that we will see Doomsday or Doom for the first time in whatever. And he's going to discover the multiverse. He's going to realize, like, oh, there's a multiverse. And maybe he's already the most powerful person in his current universe. Maybe he's already the master of that universe. Maybe he's already dominating in said universe. Maybe this is where we get some of these rumored cameos, like evil Chris Evans and evil Black Widow and all these rumors that are popping up, right? Maybe he's already in this universe, ruling this universe, and he wants to take over the multiverse. He discovers that the multiverse exists. So now he just realizes that if he collects celestial objects or whatever, he can use these to hop to different universes. Now, I believe that what's going to end up happening is that perhaps in his universe or whatever universe he's in, he's going to acquire celestial objects or find a way to get to the X-Men universe, the one with Monica Rambeau in it and Photon, the one that we saw in the Marvels, which, like I said before, is different. And the reason why I say it's different is for a variety of reasons. Photon is in there, and this Gambit, the Channing Tatum that we got announced, is going to be that universe's Gambit. He's going to belong to that universe. So that's why Channing Tatum was being announced. The Doomsday is going to go to the Monica Rambeau and the Marvels universe. He's going to mess some crap up over there, probably destroy that universe, because he's chasing the celestial objects. He might even be chasing after Monica, because Monica has information about the celestial objects. So he's going to go to the X-Men universe. He's going to probably destroy it. Maybe he possesses them. I don't even know. But he's going to go to the X-Men universe. And I believe that all the X-Men that we're seeing, that ones that they announced, which is why they're announcing them this way, from Beast, Professor X, Magneto, Nightcrawler, Mystique, they're all gone. They're all going to get wiped out in this movie by Doctor Doom. This is going to lead to a couple things. So after the Doom destroys that universe, he will go to another universe. Whatever universe. He's going to start universe hopping, because he's going to be collecting these celestial objects. His whole goal is to destroy the multiverse. This is where Loki comes into play, because Loki, his whole thing right now is that he's supposed to be watching over all these universes to make sure that things are going cool. Like, he's now the guy who runs the show, right? And they already had defeated the previous threat with Kang. And maybe they show that some way so they can wrap that up and put that in a little bow on that. But Kang is defeated. Loki's the god of stories. He's chilling, minding his own business, minding the stories and minding the timelines. But then he realizes, he sees what's happening. Now, this could lead a couple different ways. I think that if they wanted to make it suspenseful, probably what they would do is they would have, well, let me continue my pitch here. So basically what's going to happen is that Loki's going to realize that things are going down, but he can't do anything. He's Loki. He may be able to pop into the timelines, but in terms of actually being able to manipulate the timelines, he's actually not able to do that, because he's holding so many timelines. And there's going to be some kind of weird excuse being like, if Loki interferes with any of these timelines, is going to destroy the whole multiverse. Something like that. Something goofy like that. So after Doomsday defeats whatever, gets the information from Monica, maybe Monica dies or whatever, he then goes to 616 / the Sacred Timeline. Now, currently, the way the Sacred Timeline is set up, there's no like real Avenger squad there, but there are the Thunderbolts. And with the Thunderbolts, which the movie's coming out pretty soon, they're already kind of being billed as the new Avengers. And we don't know how this movie's going to play out, but my theory is that the movie's going to end with them saving the day, whatever day it needs to be saved, and they're going to be considered the new Avengers. And I think the twist is that they're going to be led by Anthony Mackie. People are theorizing that Anthony Mackie's going to go form New Avengers, but Anthony Mackie's already in the system. He already like defeated the president, Red Hulk or whatever, and he's already known. He's probably the most famous Avenger in America at this point because the rest of them are off planet or doing other things. So Anthony Mackie will probably actually end up leading the Thunderbolts, and I think he will lead them in a battle against Doom. Doom will invade the Sacred Timeline, and from there, once he invades the Sacred Timeline, the Thunderbolts will be the first line of defense. The Thunderbolts, led by Anthony Mackie, will be the first line of defense. Now, Sentry, who is also announced in this film, I don't know how that's going to play out. We have to watch the Thunderbolts, obviously, because with Sentry, we assumed that he was going to be the main villain of the Thunderbolts movie based off of what we know about Sentry. But maybe he's not yet, right? Maybe he actually is just like a dude. Maybe his powers awaken at the end of Thunderbolts. That's possible. But Sentry's announced in this film, too. I think that there's going to be a major battle between the Thunderbolts and Doomsday's people, whether it's like Dark Avengers or whoever he's got on his team rocking with him. There's going to be a major clash. The Thunderbolts will lose. They will lose very badly. This will lead to Doomsday basically taking over that timeline, maybe even destroying that planet. I don't even know how that's going to play out, but Doom's gonna win at the end of that battle. This is going to lead to Anthony Mackie going to Wakanda. Yes, Wakanda, because it makes the most sense. His armor's from Wakanda. As far as Anthony Mackie knows, Wakanda's his best backup in this entire situation that the Thunderbolts fail, right? So he would go to Wakanda and he would team up with, female Black Panther, whoever's over there, and they would come up with a plan of some sort. Since female Black Panther is the smartest in the world, maybe she figures out the whole thing about the Celestials. Maybe she figures out the whole thing about the multiverse, and that leads to them kind of forming a plan. Meanwhile, Doomsday, after Doom attacks Sacred's timeline, and all this happens, it's a major event. Kamala Harris, or not Kamala Harris, Miss Marvel, Kamala, is basically just like, oh, damn, I should probably go and form the Avengers squad that I said I was going to form at the end of the Marvels. Because at the end of the Marvels, the end credit scene is her linking up with Hawkeye and being like, hey, we should be forming the Young Avengers. So after Doomsday attacks Sacred Timeline, she's like, and she sees that the Thunderbolts get wiped out. She's like, oh, snap, I need to go ahead and form my squad. I need to get the squad together. So she goes and she gets Hawkeye, or female Hawkeye. She gets Wiccan. She gets a couple other people. We figure out who those people are later. I don't know. Maybe Spider-Man, because Spider-Man would be around and he would actually probably be one of the most prominent people around. So maybe she recruits Spider-Man. She puts together her own Avenger team, right? Meanwhile, in the other X-Men universe, the remaining X-Men, the ones that we haven't seen yet, so we're talking about like Rogue, Wolverine, I don't know. Wolverine's up in the air. We're not talking about Wolverine yet, but Rogue, Colossus, Iceman, Jean Grey, who else is in there that I haven't thought about? All these different people that we haven't seen that are from the original X-Men movies, they realize what's happening. They're like, oh snap, Doom just came and just killed all the X-Men, killed Beast, killed Professor X, killed Magneto. What are we about to do? It's about to go down. Now, Doomsday is over here destroying all these different universes. But then what's going to end up happening is somehow, some way, some Doom's going to either mess up or something's going to go wrong or something. Maybe this is where Sentry gets involved. And that's going to lead to him destroying all the universes. Now, Loki's like tripping because he's like, oh man. And what's left is Battleworld. And so now what we have is like this void where Doomsday is running. Doom is in control of the void because he's the most powerful entity out there right now. Doom's in control of the void. You have the X-Men universe. You have all these different universes that are basically kind of thrown into this situation because Doom destroyed the multiverse. Maybe he even kills Loki. that would be the plot twist, is that maybe at the end of the movie, as Doom is destroying these multiverses, he realizes that, wait, there's a faster way to do this. I can just go straight to Loki. If I find Loki, if I find the God of Stories and I take out the God of Stories, then I destroy the entire multiverse and the whole thing is mine. And I can just reset the whole plate. Right. Now, that's basically how Doomsday will end. Would be like with him destroying the multiverse. We have Battle World established. All these different heroes are now thrusted into and forced into that. Maybe the worlds collide into where all they're all just there, right? And they have to kind of figure out how they're going to defeat Doom together. Now, I haven't quite figured out how the Fantastic Four plays a role in all this because we haven't seen the Fantastic Four movie yet. We don't know if Reed Richards even knows Doom, right? Doom might not even exist in the Fantastic Four. We don't even know. This has not been confirmed. They have not said that he's been cast the way that. But when they have announced Doom so far, they've only announced Doom for Doomsday. They haven't said that Robert Downey Doom is going to be in Fantastic Four. So we don't even know if Doom even exists in the Fantastic Four. That would be kind of odd if they took that route and had it be like, well, Doom has never met Reed Richards and they actually don't even know each other until the events of this film. That would be a odd thing, but it's also possible, in terms of how we're spitting this theory on the fly, is that Doom could be the one responsible for putting the Fantastic Four in that alternate universe to begin with, as he was looking for the celestial objects. It could be a situation where the Fantastic Four was trying to stop Doom. This is an older, more mature Fantastic Four. Keep this in mind, because you know they got old ass Reed Richards. They're already established, so they've been doing stuff for a while. And it could be in the previous universe with Doom that their confrontation was Doom acquiring a celestial object and banishing them into that dimension. That Doom was the one who caused that. So that would be actually the most interesting way to introduce Doom. Would be like Doom is the one in the reasoning for that. Now Galactus, who is the villain of this, how does that play a role? I don't know. I don't necessarily think that Galactus should be the big bad. I think that if they really want to do something, it could be a situation where Doom's whole thing could be something where he's like, I've been trying to stop Galactus this whole time, bro. And y'all wouldn't let me. Like, he already came to this universe and I stopped him or whatever. And I had to banish y'all to another universe because y'all wouldn't help me. So now what I'm going to go do is I'm actually going to go stop all these celestials. I'm going to go collect all these celestial objects. I'm going to go and get all the universes that I need to do. And I'm going to go ahead and stop this from happening. And I'm going to become the ultimate emperor of the multiverse. F Loki, he's not doing his job. He's just sitting there watching all this happen. I'm going to go do something about it. That's like a Doom mentality, is that Doom would see a problem and be like, I'm going to go fix this. How I ready to fix this? If y'all ain't going to help me, then you need to get the F out. So I could see Doom being the catalyst for the Fantastic Four being in their universe, which would make a lot more sense as to them returning and seeing their universe destroyed, or returning to the MCU Sacred Timeline and seeing Doom already doing stuff and being like, oh man, we got to stop this guy. And Reed Richards could be one of the leaders of the faction that takes on Doom in Secret Wars. And when Secret Wars, when they blow open the doors in Doomsday and they bring in all these different universes, this is where we'll see Tobey Maguire. This is where we'll see Andrew Garfield. This is where we'll see Blade. This is where we'll see whoever they want to bring in. It's going to be every superhero entity that they have that they can get their hands on will exist in Secret Wars, and that would be the grand finale. The hero shot will be Wolverine, Deadpool, Spider-Man, Iron Man. Yes, Iron Man will return. Captain America. Who else is in that money shot? Bunch of other people. That's going to be the money shot. Tobey Maguire, Tom Holland, all of them just lined up, ready to fight Doom. That's going to be the money shot. They're fighting and pushing towards that. Wolverine, et cetera, and so forth. So that's my pitch. That was my pitch for Doomsday. It was a little janky because I was kind of having to put some context to it. But let me know what you think. And save this video, because when the movie comes out, we'll see how right I am. Because I'm pretty good at this. I don't know. We'll see, though. I'm going to go walk my dog. I love y'all. Be safe. Peace.